almost here in Houston, Texas. I'm going to wait for a couple of people to get on here. I don't want to start this without people being on here. Once I see we got some viewers in the house, I'll start talking. I'll start running my mouth. So please leave some comments. Let me know you're watching. What's up, Big Daddy? So Mr. Mike's in the house. So give it a little bit more time. Just wait just a little bit. He said, you look great today. Shit, I look like I just rolled up out of bed. What's up, Buck? Hello, Nancy. So I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes to before I start talking. He said, speak up for the paint booth. Okay. What's up, Mr. Jeff? So we're going to let a couple more people get on here real quick before I just lose my shit. That's what I'm going to do, is lose my shit. So is everybody having a good Saturday morning? I hope. I know a lot of people are up working and doing their stuff. I'm actually working my damn self, doing a seat for a bagger. Got to get out of here. He said, Red Bull so early. No, man, I'm still drinking coffee, man. I just woke up. I've only been up about an hour and a half, and holy shit, the shit storm that's going on this morning, guys. Y'all aren't even going to believe me when I tell you this shit. So, yes, Gary Dubo. Big news. Yes, we got some big news going on right now. That's why I'm going live on a Saturday at high noon. What's up, Robert? Mr. David Smith is in the house. Jeff Rollins, Michael Joe Murray, Brian Barber's in the house. Manning or Asnick? Okay. All right. Well, let me go on and start this stuff out by saying, first of all, thank you guys for tuning in on a Saturday. I'm pretty sure everybody's busy. But so let me start this out by saying I highly respect and I highly appreciate everybody tuning in. My phone's blowing up again. Okay, so yeah, well, I probably will, just to be honest with you, I probably will bring someone on here in a minute. So here's the deal. So back in January of 2018, I had this great idea to go live to call out a painter here in Houston and start this little show called The Grind. And I didn't do it to be malicious. I didn't do it to be mean. I did it because I wanted someone to just be accountable. That's it. But as you can see, the show has grown and grown and blown up, and everything's going pretty freaking good for this show. Well, after doing 6 full one-on-one biker build-offs, I realized real quick that there just wasn't enough skin in the game to get the builders to do this. And I wanted to up the ante and have a show where any builder could pay $2,500 to build a bike in 10 months and hopefully win the cash from everybody's entry fees. I was very blessed to get 10 builders, some of which I know, some of which I don't know. Some I've met in person, some I have not met in person, and I'm just Facebook friends with. But I did what a lot of people, and I'm not going to call these people out by name because, you know, we all have opinions. But I did something that people said you can't do. Nobody's going to want to participate. There's always going to be shit. You know, there's always going to be this, that, and the other. But I decided to put on a show where you had to put your money up where your mouth is. Okay. And I got 10 builders, you know, James Ozzie, Logan Black, David Covington, Louis Bailey, PJ Orlando with Lucky 7, Andrew Torres right here in Houston, right, you know, my backyard, Lonnie Rebels, Shannon Fleischman, TD Ward, Dan Jubian and the guys over at Shy South, Mike and Paul at Convict Customs. I got some builders in this show. Well, the deal is this. You were supposed to start January 1st. And you were going to get all the way from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October to build the bike that you wanted to compete with. Okay. You wanted to say, this is what I built. This is how I built it. And I put my money in, and I want to go against what I consider to be some of the best people in the country. We did not get everybody in the build off. I mean, there were 15 people, and I'm not even exaggerating, 15 people that said they wanted to do it. And when it came down to it, they didn't do it. Now, I'm not downing those people at all. You know, a lot of people have businesses. A lot of people have time frames. A lot of people have stuff that prohibited them from getting into it. But for the 10 individuals and companies that got into this build off, thank you. That means you're going to compete. That means you paid your money. I have $25,000 cash in a lockbox, and somebody's going to win those monies. But here's the deal. So right now, there is a big shit storm, and I'm just going to say it quite frankly. There's a big shit storm over Louis Bailey and PJ Orlando having a bike that somebody said, well, they built that bike in 2019 or even in 2020, so they should be disqualified. Now, initially, it wasn't from one of the builders in the show. It was from people around the show that, for one reason or another, didn't want to get into the show, but they have this fucking hard on. They have a hard on over Louis Bailey and PJ. They just want to see those two people fucking fail in life. They would love nothing more than to see these two people go out of business and be in a soup kitchen somewhere, which I think is bullshit. I mean, there are people in this industry I do not like, and I don't wish them any ill will. I wish them nothing but success. You know, in spite of the fact that I don't like them, I still want them to take care of their families, go on vacations, build kick-ass bikes, and do whatever it is they're going to do. But for some reason, there is groups of people that just can't stand Louis Bailey. They can't stand PJ Orlando. And there's so much bullshit going on around these two people. So let me go ahead and preface this. Let me go on and say this. Yes, Louis Bailey is my friend. On a personal level, he's my friend. PJ Orlando is my friend. On a personal level, Brian Barber is my friend. And every single person in this build-off is my friend, I would assume. But I'll tell you this. When the show first started in January and people were supposed to bring either a bike that they built, a frame that they made, whatever, they were going to be building a bike over the last 10 months and bring it to Galveston so that they could compete heads up with what they built. If you look at my rule sheet, there was one tiny detail left out of that. And that detail was left out because I trusted people. It won't be left out next year. But this year, it got left out. That one little piece is proof of what you're building on January 1st. Got to have proof that you didn't build it prior. Well, I didn't put that in the rules because I just assumed everybody would start building January 1st. Well, then we had some other builders jump in, and that was Shannon Fleischman. He jumped in late, but the builders agreed to let him in. Then James Ozzie jumped in late, but the builders agreed to let him in. Okay, that was the builders. That wasn't me. So that's not rigged. That's not me breaking the rules. That was me saying, hey, if you guys want, we can add these two builders, which is going to increase the pot. It's up to y'all. And everybody agreed. And if anybody wants to say they didn't fucking agree to that, man, I will bring up the group message where everybody involved is in a group message, and I will fucking call you out and show you where you did agree that you would let them two people in. So with that being said, if anybody wants to say this shit's rigged or it's fishy, you can eat a bag of fucking dicks because it's not rigged, it's not fishy. It was left up to the builders to let those two companies in to build their bikes. Now, with that being said, January, I was in Fort Worth and I saw a frame sitting on a bench, a bare fucking frame. And I was asked by this individual, well, can we build that? And I was like, yeah, it's a frame. I don't see anything else there. So, yeah, I mean, you're starting with a bare frame. Go ahead. Well, fast forward legitimately 8 months. And someone brought it to my attention that that frame that I saw had already been built. And I was like, well, shit. Wow. That's on me because I saw a frame. I didn't research every one of these builders to make goddamn sure all of this was level. Everybody was starting in the same exact place, everything. Well, I had a conversation with some people, and I'm not saying their names yet. I'm going to say their names, but I'm not saying it yet. I had a conversation with some people, and that person told me, hey man, my inbox is blowing up saying PJ and Louie are building a bike that was already built. And I was like, well, from my knowledge, I walked into the shop in January and there is video footage of me in January in Fort Worth partying with those guys. So I ain't even fucking lying about that. What I saw is what I saw. And I said, okay, cool. So I had no way of really knowing whether it was built or not built. I based it off of what these two eyes physically saw. Now, the builder wasn't talking smack. The builder wasn't doing anything. The builder said, hey, look, people are inboxing me and saying that bike was built. And I told that builder, I was like, look, dude, from where I sit, I said go ahead to PJ and Louie simply because I saw a bare frame. I mean, I started with a bare frame that was already built. In my initial first build off, I didn't see the difference. You know, if you take a stock Harley Davidson that's completely built, and that's going to be your donor bike to start a build off with, that's a completely built bike. The wiring's done, the oil system's done, all of the primary, I mean, everything. It's a running freaking motorcycle. If you take that bike and you tear it down to just the frame, and then you modify that frame, and then you put it back together with powder coat and chrome, and you add bags and all your stuff to it, you still started out with, I don't have to wire, I have to alter wiring. I don't have to build a frame, I have to alter a frame. I don't have to build wheels, I just bolt them on. So I figured in my mind, in my defense, hey, look, they're starting in the same place, because when this guy that's got a bike already built tears it apart, he's tearing it down to the frame that he's going to modify. This guy over here has a custom frame sitting here, but he's still got to modify the frame, or maybe he's not going to modify the frame, but he is still starting in the same place as the built bike. That was my mentality. So I said, cool, okay, we'll run with it. I think that's fair. So when this was brought to me, it wasn't the builder that was complaining about it. And that builder was Logan Black. Logan Black was not complaining about where they started or what they started with. He was just saying, hey, man, my inbox is blowing up. People are all over me saying Louie and PJ are cheating. They have a bike that's already built. That's cheating, because this is a bike that was built a year ago, and then they're going to do is take it apart, paint it, and put it right back together. And I was like, well, here's the deal. When I was there in January, I saw a frame, just a bare frame. I didn't see anything. I figured it was cool. So that's why I told them to go ahead with it. So fast forward to about two and a half weeks ago, I got a phone call from PJ Orlando. And if any of you guys know, PJ works for Louis. PJ does not own Lucky 7. He's an employee of Lucky 7. Okay. PJ calls me. Louis Bailey is in the background. So they got the phone on speakerphone. So Louis and PJ are sitting there talking to me. Well, hold on. Let me back up just a little bit. Let me back up. So at the middle of August, I heard that Louis and the guys were not going to build a bike because they ran out of time. They had too many customer bikes. They lost a couple of employees. Things just got backed up. So they said, you know what? We're not going to build. We're just going to donate the 2,500 because it's a good show and what you're doing is a good thing. So, we're not even going to build because we don't have a format yet to build with. Okay. That was in the middle of August. I had a conversation with Louis Bailey and I said, no, Louis, you're not going to do this to me. And I'm not saying this to be mean, but this is the facts that I presented to Louis. I was like, you ran your mouth too much over the last 6 months stating that we should just go on and give you the money. So you can't just back out. You can't do that to me. I want everybody to be represented good. I said, so y'all need to find something to fucking build. All right. Now fast forward to the whole or rewind back to the whole conversation with Logan. Fast forward back to PJ calling me 2.5 weeks ago. PJ called me. He's got Louis on the phone with us. It's speakerphone. And PJ said, hey, look, dude, here's the deal. I have this bike. You saw the frame in January. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to build the bike, but we're not going to show it. And I was like, why? Why aren't you going to show it? He goes, because respectfully, dude, I had the whole thing relatively mocked up. It was only about 70%, but it was mocked up in 2020. So I'm just telling you, before there's any shit, before anybody says anything, I just want to let you know, I think that we may be, we may have an advantage because we had this built in 2020. We're just going to build the bike and do the video footage for the documentary, but we're going to withdraw. We're not going to compete because I just don't think it's fair. That's what PJ said with Louis sitting there. So 2.5 weeks ago, they already called me and told me point blank, it's not fair and it's not fair to the other builders because we had this bike sitting out there. So what we're going to do is I've got to finish the bike anyway to give it to the customer in Galveston, but we're just not going to run the bike and compete the bike. But we're still, the money is definitely going to stay there. We're still going to support the show. We're still going to support everything, but it's just not fair to people. So now, mind you, I had a conversation with Logan Black in the beginning of August. 2.5 weeks later, I'm hearing from PJ that they don't want to compete with that bike. Now, fast forward to today, now my phone's blowing up. There's a certain camp out there that is saying, oh, they're cheating. That bike was already built, blah, 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 blah. And I can't even find the freaking post. I've looked for it and I've looked for it and I can't find it, but it's out there. And now everybody is assuming that Louis Bailey and PJ Orlando and to a degree, Brian Barber, they're cheating. They're not playing by the rules. Well, if you guys really knew anything about PJ and you knew anything about Louis, you would understand they're good guys. They support this show, honestly, and yes, they give people shit and yes, they take shit. And in the middle of all the shit talking and all the stuff, sometimes people get into their feelings and I get it. But the reality of it is those two guys, based off what I said, were going to enter that bike. And then once they got going, literally 2.5 weeks later, PJ was like, nah, this is just not cool. I don't want to do it this way. We're just going to pull the bike. And then fast forward, 8 full weeks later, now he's getting beat up and people are telling him, oh, they're just cheaters. And, all they like to do is just cyberbully people and all this shit. And I'm like, well, hold on, wait a minute. Yes, they fuck with people and people fuck with them. I get it. It happens. I have gotten messed with and bullied on Facebook. I just made a post last week about some dude named Jim, whatever his last name was, beating me up saying I don't even, I have no drive. I don't build bikes. I don't do this. I don't do that, and blah, 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 blah. Everybody gets picked on. But before anybody wants to sit here and run their mouths and say how horrible Lucky Seven is, or how mean they are, or how they're going to be cheating, well, I hate to say this to you, but 8 weeks ago, PJ and Louie told me point blank, we're not going to run this bike because we just don't feel like it's fair, because it was mocked up to a degree in 2020. Now, everybody wants to get on the internet and talk shit about them, but the reality of it is those two guys called me. I didn't call them. They called me out of the blue and said they were going to pull their bike because they didn't feel like it was straight up fair. Now, Logan Black, before you start jumping on Logan and saying what an ass Logan is or how he's whining or crying, Logan never said anything negative about PJ and Louie entering their bike and how it's not fair. It was people in Logan's inbox, people messaging Logan, trying to get Logan fired up about this. And Logan's reply was, I don't care. The deal is this. I'm going to beat them at what they do. That's my goal. And you know what? That's the whole goal of the whole entire show. It's a biker build off. So he was going to beat them or compete against them or lose to them on a level playing ground. But it was everybody else in the inbox blowing shit up because those people are too afraid to compete, because I don't think any of those people have bikes in the show. I don't think they do. Unfortunately, Logan's a stand-up dude and did not want to drop any names because he knows this show is going to be going on for a long time, and it's going to be another thing in another year, and maybe one day those guys will get into the show. I don't know. But the one thing I do want is I want people to understand this. Hey, look, the bottom line is, yes, Louie, and yes, PJ, and even Brian, they do talk smack on the internet. They do. But I also know that I have seen firsthand Logan Black, Louie Bailey, butt heads, talk shit about each other, pick on each other, everything. But yet they're still friends. They still respect each other, because they're good human beings. That's it. So all of these little trolls that are in the background trying to send messages and fuck PJ and fuck Louie or all this crap, those people are nobody. If those people were somebody, they would have stood up, shut up, and build. And they didn't. So if you're pissed off at me, be pissed. You can get pissed. You can get happy in the same pants you got pissed off in. But the reality is, do not talk shit about how Louie and PJ were trying to cheat or how they were not good builders or all this shit. Those dudes supported the show based off what I said. They were going to put a bike in there just to support the show. They, from the time they figured out they were going to build that bike, within 1 week of them telling me that's what they were going to build, they called me back and said, hey, look, I don't want to do this. I don't think it's fair to the other builders. So if that's not respectable, you can bite my ass, because they called me. I didn't call them. I personally wish they would bring the bike in anyway, whether they win, lose, draw, whatever, just so they can compete. Because the other people that want to run their mouths, where's your bike? Where's your confidence in your skill set? Where's your $2,500? That's how I feel about it. Every single person on this list, like I told you, I respect. Every person on this list, I appreciate. I appreciate and respect them because these guys entered a show that's never been done before. They paid $2,500 to enter a show that's never been done before. And if that's not support, I don't know what support is. The other thing I will say is that Logan Black, David Covington, Lonnie Rebels, Shannon Fleischman, TD Ward, Dan and the guys at Shy South. Those are the names that I know right now. They have gone through hell and high water to get their builds done, and they're not even done. But every one of those people I just said have gone through more shit in 10 and a half months. It's not even realistic. And I hope and pray that every one of those people documented it in their video footage. So when you see the documentary, you get to see what these people went through to make this shit happen. And then withdraw because they're stand-up guys. Louie and PJ are stand-up guys. And if you think they're trying to cheat or that they don't know what they're doing or they're just trying to run somebody over or some bullshit, look at this. Middle of August, PJ and Louie called me and told me, hey, look, we're not going to run this bike because we feel like it wouldn't be fair to the other builders. So if you have something negative to say about those two, in my opinion, you can eat a fucking bag of dicks because they support the show and they supported the other builders. They didn't complain and whine and throw a fit. Well, I'm not going to be, disqualified. No, they called me and they said, hey, look, we want to disqualify ourselves. We're not going to bring the bike down. Keep the money, keep the show going, and push it forward. We're going to shoot for this shit again next year. So if anybody has ill feelings for them, take that up with them. Don't involve me in it because I'm tired of hearing it. And yeah, I know Louie and PJ can dish it out. I know they can. They've dished it out to me before. It's not a big fucking deal. Get some skin and fucking relax. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be awesome. And I'm going to tell you right now, for any of you builders, if you don't put your video footage in, do not bitch at me after that documentary is made because Earl Hopkins is busting his ass to make that thing amazing. Don't bitch at me if you're not represented because that was in the rules. It was in the rules. You must video. So I'm going to send a little request over to Curly because I want Curly to come on simply because. So let me do this. I'm going to I'll try to bring Curly on real quick. If he's available, he'll come on. If he's not, then he won't. Oh shit. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm still here. Y'all just relax. Just calm down. So I sent Curly an invitation to get on the show, and I sent Louie an invitation to get on the show. You know what? I'm going to send PJ an invitation to get on the show. And you can hear it right from their mouths. I'm not sending Logan Black an invitation because Logan Black is literally sitting outside the motor builder, engine builder shop, and I don't want him to be in the middle of this stuff and then have to go all of a sudden. Yes, I'm fired up. The reason I'm fired up is because back in 2019, there was a shit storm talked about me saying how this show is rigged, how it's fishy. And you know who the fuck you are when I say the word fishy. You know who you are that said that. Eat a bag of dicks. That's all I can tell you. Because I know for a fact you weren't man enough to get in my show because apparently you don't believe in your skill set that much. Yeah, I said it. It's on tape. It's videoed. It'll be live forever. Yeah, I said that. I ain't even fucking worried about it. Well, we have a bag of dicks at the show if after the show anyone wants to enter an eating contest. Oh my God. Yes, Logan Black does have a cool stash. Okay, hold on 2 seconds, knuckleheads. My grinders. Hold on 2 seconds. Ready, set, go. Okay, what's up, guys? So let me start this off, and I'm gonna ask a simple fucking question.
Ready, set.
Where is PJ with you?
Okay.
Yeah, he's right here.
So let me start this off.
PJ.
Simple fucking question.
Oh, turn off the other screen. It's too loud.
Yeah, he's right here.
So let me start this off.
Why am I getting some back feed?
Because somebody else has their phone on in the feed also.
Why am I getting some back? You have your phone off? My phone's off. Where's your phone? My phone's off. You have your phone on? Better?
Yes, it went away. So, PJ, are you there?
I can't hear.
Okay, go again.
PJ, can you hear me?
What do you want?
PJ, okay. Am I right or am I wrong? In the middle of August, you called me and said that you didn't think it was fair for you to build that bike, that you were just going to donate that money.
I can't hear.
This is all fucked up. Try again, Kevin. We're gonna get out and get back in.
Okay.
This is all. It's shit.
I'll bring a couple of. Also, I'll be back. Hopefully, going to grab the motor quick. A lot of dicks getting eaten right now. Old Motorola flip phones. Send one to Mike Hogan Pole 2. How the hell do you accept to come on via your phone? Okay, I'm gonna send you one, Mike. Hold on 2 seconds, okay? Let me do this, and I'm gonna send one for you, Mike. Okay, is that better?
Way better. I think I had two of them open at the same time or something.
Okay, is PJ still there with you?
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. Was it not the middle of August when you called me and Louis was in the background like you are right now, and you told me, hey, look, dude, I think this is going to be unfair for us to run this bike because people are going to think bad of us. So we're going to withdraw the bike, but we're still going to support the show. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at that point in time, I gave, well, actually I did it without you, but I gave Louis shit because I told Louis, hey, look, dude, you can't just not do this. This is, you have to be in here. We have to have the video footage. And Louis, did you not tell me? Yes, we're going to give you video footage. We're just not going to run that bike in that show because it's not fair to the other builders.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, so
and that was simply because it was in the mock-up state.
I mean, it's still. It
depends.
I don't get it, but
like you said, if you start with a bike that you tore down, it's almost the same fucking.
So
thing.
we had a bike mocked up with 2 wheels, a frame, and a motor sitting in it. Not wired, nothing done.
Well, yes.
I think the people starting with the Harleys are starting ahead of us. I mean, shit, we did more fabricating on just that than most of these guys are doing on their whole fucking bikes.
Well, and my whole thing is this: is I'm really at the end of my rope.
Why does this clown always comment like that?
Is we both know you and PJ can dish it out and everything like that. But there's a group of people that can't fucking stand y'all. And that
little Juan, and then you got the pedophile, and then you got the crackhead. Yeah, it's. I mean, y'all can figure out who that is, but
well, and I'm sitting here, and for someone, first of all, I'm not as close with PJ as I am with you, but for PJ to take the time out of his day and call me on the phone and say, "Hey, look, dude, I don't think this is going to be fair. I think we should pull the bike out and still just support the show." That to me says a lot more. And when I hear people talk shit about, oh, they're cheating, they're not good enough to build one in 10 months, that's where I'm getting pissed off because nobody knows the behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to tell you guys right now, look at this list. I'm going to tell you right now, there are people on this list that when I tell you the fucking story of what happened to these guys, all of you guys are going to feel like complete shit because I have had to deal with over 10 months so much tragedy from builders and what they're going through just to get to this show. But then I have to hear other builders complaining, oh, it's rigged, it's unfair.
These guys are a bunch of crybabies. I've never heard so much crying in my life. You know, I don't care what anyone says. There's more done on this bike that's here than any of these guys have done after the frame. I mean, it's to say that the bike was built. There was a frame, 2 wheels, and a motor sitting in it. If that's built for these guys, I mean, I can understand because most of these guys use this.
Yeah.
Logan or, whatever. But, there's more on this bike than anyone has done and more to do. But to say that the shit was built, a bunch of fucking clowns.
Well, like
it is what it is. We're going to pull it out and,
we're going to pull it out, but I'm going to give you something to talk about for next year.
Yeah, we'll do something again. And it's just
what I'm wanting people to understand, though, is that this was 8 weeks ago. Y'all said we're going to pull out way before any bullshit started, before anybody said a word. The character of you two guys were like, hey, look, I just don't feel like, this is going to be what we would consider fair. Y'all started it and nobody knew it. And that's the part that pisses me off, is that everybody wants to beat y'all up right now, claiming, oh, well, these guys are cheating. But dude, 8 weeks ago, before anything ever happened, PJ calls and says, hey, look, dude, I just don't think this is going to be right. We're going to pull it out.
Well, that's because when you build a bike, in my eyes, it's from the fucking ground the fuck up. You know what I mean? A lot of these cats there can't even envision that shit,
Well, my whole point is that, and let's face it, guys, you two are infamous for being able to talk shit online. But I also know that there's people y'all talk shit about that I've actually physically watched y'all help out also.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I help everybody. And there's obviously some of them that we talked to that we knocked out.
Well, I'm fired up right now because here and again, I thought I was doing something badass for this industry.
Oh, yeah.
I am. And I know I am.
You are.
But to have people be, it was funny last week when James Ozzie did the hat video thing with the Lucky Seven taking over the world. I found that to be awesome. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about. But
never heard of them.
My point is that once you put people in front of people, if they don't know who you are, the person, they can assume they know who you are.
Well, that's what
the builder.
That's the whole Ozzy thing. He only knows the Facebook us. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's chirping in his ear, I'm sure the cat's a cool cat. He actually called, whatever. We talked a little bit. I got no problem with the cat. He's making a name for himself. It's cool.
He's trying to jump on our back, but it's all right. And he's listening to that little midget, that little wand in his
little
ear.
peanut gallery. He should really do some investigation before he starts yapping. So.
Well, and you know what? And that's happened before with other people. And then once they meet each other, they actually find out, well, shit, man, this is one of the coolest dudes I know, man. And then they become good friends. My whole point is it just, dude, my phone blowing up this morning and all the shit that was talked, I wanted to address it simply because I was like, you guys don't even know what PJ and Louie actually have done.
What I just don't get. I mean, we started with 2 wheels, a frame, and a motor, just like everybody else. What are they fucking crying about? They started with their big bed, the Harleys, with what that was completely done. I mean, what's the difference? That we actually built our frame and we did a lot more. I mean, is that what it is? I mean, are they scared? I don't.
The truth of the matter is that it's, and I'm going to take full blame for this right now. If you read my rules, it never said anything like that because I assumed everybody would start the first.
Yeah, but at that point, we would have showed you a picture of the frame.
Yes.
So what's the fucking difference?
But that's the whole thing is I was there in January and saw just a frame sitting on a bench. That's what I physically saw.
You got to put the wheels on it.
You got to mock. You
know that.
But we still gotta build all the controls. I mean, there's so much more to that bike than 2 wheels and a frame. I mean, I understand some of these guys can't figure that out, but because again, they're using the catalog. But I mean,
or a bucket of fucking Bondo from O'Reilly.
Yeah, well, that too. But
it's just that.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy how they think that there's. I asked Logan what year his bike was built. He said 2014. Well, fuck. The frame's from 14, so obviously it was built a long time ago. We can't use that, right?
Well, I wanted people to understand that y'all weren't trying to pull a slick one. Y'all weren't trying to do shit. That you actually called me in the middle of freaking August and dropped the bomb on me. Because that's a bomb. That's one less bike to be judged.
For sure. I mean, it sucks. But we would love to take 10 months to do it, but shit. what we did in the last
I fucking moved.
8 weeks.
Well,
It's
that was
crazy.
my whole point, is to have people talk shit, but they never even realized that you guys called, and you guys are the ones that initiated, hey, look, we're not going to do it because that wasn't me. That wasn't Logan. That wasn't Brian. That wasn't anybody. That was y'all actually doing that. And that's why I wanted to do the video today, because I got pissed off and I was like, but you guys, y'all are running your mouth and you don't know the fucking story. So here, let me tell you the fucking story, and then you can choke on your fucking words now.
Yeah, most of them don't have a clue. I mean, that's why we weren't on there posting a bunch of shit or this bike, or because we knew we were done. I told you that when I was on here a while ago. I was going to call it, and I did 15 minutes. I'm like, we can't. There's just too much. But that's the only thing we had to do in 8 weeks. We did this. This is going to be 8 weeks, 8 weeks. We did this. So
let me get this straight. So you are bringing the bike to Galveston. You're just not.
Yeah, we'll bring it. I mean, yeah, because it's actually it's for a customer. So we're gonna we'll finish it, and
along with all the other ones you keep dropping. I mean, y'all are putting out some bikes. Every time I turn around, there's another, just finish this one up, just finish this one up, just finish this one. And let's be real clear. Everybody thinks you guys have a crew of like 10 or 15 people working there. Correct me if I'm not wrong. Isn't it PJ, Johnny, and you?
Yep. And then Brian will help.
Okay. So where's all the other 8 people that are supposed to work here?
I wish
unemployment.
Yeah, unemployment. No, I don't know. We can't get no one to work here.
Well, so I mean,
can't even get anyone to freaking apply.
Well, I had to say this, and I hope I didn't put you guys on the spot or piss you guys off but I'm lit up about it, because I get it when you want to talk shit about somebody that's actually trying to slide one over on you. That's fine. But goddamn, 8 weeks ago, you guys called me, the middle of August. Y'all called me and told me you weren't going to submit the bike. You didn't feel like it was right. How can you be upset with that? So now everybody knows the story. So if you got some bullshit you want to talk about PJ and Louie, you know what? Come find us in Galveston. We're going to be at the Daiquiri Timeout. We're going to be on Harborside at the Grind Biker Build-Off booth. They're still going to be there. They still support the fucking show. So hell, guess what? Who's bringing the bag of dicks? I want to know, because I can't get them in time, or I would have.
I'll bring them.
Oh my God.
But Brian says I gave the winner a $2,500 donation. Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, they said the Louis stimulus plan. All right. Yep. Well, you know what? I have to get to work, but I'm glad you came.
Where's Curly? Curly was going to come on here.
I sent him a link. He never showed up.
I know Curly had something to say about this too. But, it's like I said, if you want to beat the best, you got to go against the best. And I guess maybe some of these guys were just a little scared. That's the way I look at it. So all you got to think, I'll go back and cry. And whoever wins will get to beat the whatever bikes are there. But just know you didn't beat the best. That's all I got to say.
Well, and y'all have that right. You damn sure have that right.
All right. Well, you have fun.
All right, guys. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day.
See you, buddy. Thanks, bud.
Okay. So there you go. Where's Mike Pogenpole? Let's go to Mike. We'll see if Mike wants to come on real quick. Okay, Mike, I keep sending you invitations. Why are you not coming on? Louie, you guys are the best fucking people. Where's James Ozzie at? It's like crickets in here. James Ozzie was on. He was watching. Mike Pogenpole, I sent you a request. Come on. I sent Lance or Curly a request. One of you two needs to come on real quick. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to jump off of here. Because I literally have 11 seats I have to get done today and tomorrow. It won't let me come on with the link to my phone. Okay, Mike, if you'll take the link that I sent you, press down, copy the link, go to the web browser on your cell phone and paste it into the search bar. That's how you get in. Try that. Oh my God, Nathan Leanin, you did not just say that. Oh, let me see. There we go. Mike's a dipshit. He no bueno at technology. Oh my God. You have to open it up in Chrome. Copy the link into Chrome browser. Mike, copy it into Chrome browser. But anyway, I have no ill will against any person in this industry, period. I don't. I really don't. I have reasons to not like a couple of people, but I don't even let those reasons sway me into not liking them. You know, I just look at certain people like one day they're a supporter and the next day they're not. But I will say this, you know, here's how I truly feel. Every single builder, including my judges that wanted to get in on it, but I didn't want them in on it because I wanted them to judge. But every single builder out there, if you didn't enter this show, man, show up next year. Show up next year and get in on this show, and there's going to be so much freaking money to win. It's not even going to be funny. It isn't working. Stupid. Okay, well, all right. Since Mike can't get on here, I don't understand what's going on. I'm going to let you guys go because I have a lot of crap to get done. Go get a Lunchable. Anyway, you guys go have a good day. Share this video because I think it may need to get around to some of the people that are sending inbox invitations and all this stuff. But anyway, you guys go have a good Saturday. I'm going to get my fat ass to work and try to make a little money before the weekend comes or before next